Hello and welcome to this video. Gareth here from tastytudes.com. In this video we are going to look at the NeXT logo, learn a little about the logo and the designer behind it. So the NeXT logo was designed in 1985 by an American designer called Paul Rand. Paul Rand is credited to be one of the most famous graphic designers in the world, and his contribution to modern graphic design theory is widely considered intrinsic to the profession's development. Paul Rand is well known for his packaging, marketing and poster design, but is best known for his corporate logo design, many of which are still in use today. To name a few, in 1956, Paul Rand designed the iconic IBM logo, and over the course of the 60s and 70s made subtle changes to what we are familiar with today. In 1960, Paul Rand designed the identity for Westinghouse, a leading nuclear power company which is still used today. In 1962, Rand designed the ABC logo, and in 1961, Paul Rand designed the UPS logo, which in 2003 was modified by Future Brand. Some of his famous posters are those for US Department of the Interior 1975, IBM in 1981, and SOS Kinderdorf Children's Village in 1996. To see more posters, you can check out the website paulrand.com. Loads more to see there. Link is in the description. Now the NeXT logo is not one of his most well-known logos, but does have an interesting story. Paul Rand was 71 in 1985 and designed the logo for Steve Jobs' computer company at the time, which was called NeXT. This logo would last until Apple bought the company in 1996 and Steve Jobs would return to Apple. To quote Steve Jobs, "Our challenge was, how could we have a little jewel that we could use without the name to put on the product without spending $100 million and 10 years to make that association in the customer's mind?" Paul solved that by making us a little jewel that had contained in it the name of the company, and I think that he really approached it as a problem that had to be solved, not an artistic challenge for its own sake. Steve Jobs knew that the computers he was going to make would be in the shape of a cube. He loved that shape and was open about that with Paul Rand, which inspired the cube-like logo. To quote Paul Rand, "What is essential is finding a meaningful device, some idea, preferably product related, that reinforces the company name. The cube in which the company will be housed can be such a device because it has visual impact and is easy to remember. Unlike the word NeXT, it is depictable, possesses the promise of meaning and pleasure of recognition." So the NeXT logo is essentially an emblem style logo. The type has been placed inside the geometric cube shape. This logo essentially occurs in one instance and will only change in scale. The typeface has 3 uppercase and 1 lowercase to add more contrast and interest. The lowercase e was Paul Rand's idea. This served a particular purpose. The word NeXT is very similar to the word exit, and having it all in uppercase stacked in the logo could make one confused and misinterpret the meaning. So having the lowercase e helped alleviate that potential problem. It also drew attention to the word E that could stand for many a powerful word such as education, excellence, expertise, exceptional, excitement, M equals MC squared, and so on. From that moment on, the company would no longer present itself as simply NeXT, but NeXT with a lowercase e. It took Rand just 2 weeks to complete the logo, which he delivered with a booklet which explains the thought process behind the logo. This is a really interesting piece of presentation from Paul Rand. I recommend you check this out. If you'd like to see that very booklet, there is a PDF scanned version along with a short video of Paul Rand introducing the NeXT identity. Link is in the description. The logo itself would be at an angle of 28 degrees. In the booklet, Rand described the logo as designed to appeal to a youthful audience. Tipped at a jaunty angle, it brims with the informality, friendliness, and spontaneity of a Christmas seal and the authority of a rubber stamp. Paul Rand has also said, "This idea in no way restricts its application to any one product or concept. The three-dimensional effect functions as an underscore to attract the viewer's attention." Throughout his career, Rand's work displayed the quality of simplicity. He was one of the first American designers to incorporate the practice of the Swiss style of graphic design, with a less is more approach. To quote Rand, "Simplicity is not the goal, it is the byproduct of a good idea and modest expectations." So what do I think about this logo? For the NeXT logo, Paul Rand chose to create an emblem style logo. I think that emblem logos are some of the best because they are so practical and functional in all media environments. To quote Paul Rand, "The adaptation of this device for miniaturization for tie racks, charm bracelets, paperweights, stickers and other promotional items is endless. It lends itself as well to large-scale interpretation, signs, exhibits in the shape of cubes, in which the actual exhibit is housed, as well as exhibit stands. For printed matter, its infinite adaptability and attention-compelling power is self-evident." Paul Rand saw the potential of how a logo can work not just as an identity, but as a marketing tool. Paul saw the benefits of such a logo working in merchandising and in professional presentational environments. It's not easy getting across the nature of a product or business in a logo. This logo is a stroke of genius and achieves this in a number of ways. The logo worked well because the cube was symbolically related to the product itself. So what can we learn about this story? Well, one of the highlights of this story is the approach Paul Rand took to present the logo. Instead of revealing the logo cold turkey, Paul Rand presented a carefully orchestrated booklet. Rand wanted to tell a story, take the client, in this case Steve Jobs, and his team on a journey of the design process that would end with the logo design. Upon seeing the final logo, the reaction would not be one of taste, but of rational understanding. This went a really long way to help the client and the team understand the rationale and get behind the logo. Again, you can check out the NeXT presentation booklet, link is in the description. From this example, we can learn the importance of this technique. When presenting logos, we should consider utilizing this approach. It's a useful technique to help outline the rationale and the design to help a client get behind a logo design. If you'd like to learn more about Paul Rand, you can watch him speak and read more articles, links are in the description. And there's quite a few interesting links there, I recommend you check them out. So that's one of many logos and designers I have spoken about. If you enjoyed this video and want to watch more like it, you can see more episodes in the Famous Logos playlist, link is in the description. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button on my Facebook page. If you'd like to see more videos like this in future, hit the subscribe button. And you can also follow me on Twitter @TastyTunes. So until next time, have fun guys, and I'll see you in the next video.